Welcome to the deep dive. So you're looking to build stronger legs, right?
Right.
And you want the effective ways, whether that's at home or, hitting the gym.
Yep.
Think of this as your shortcut, your guide to understanding how to get those gains. We're aiming for no fluff, just the key stuff from some solid sources.
That's the plan. We've looked through articles from everyone, active, loads of home exercise ideas there, and a really comprehensive guide from Healthline on structuring workouts, best exercises,
Okay.
and also some tips from human resources about how to push past those plateaus.
Right, when things stall.
Exactly. So the mission here is to give you a clear, actionable picture. You should feel informed, confident, not totally overwhelmed by all the details.
Okay, great. Let's start with those home workouts then. For the days when, well, getting to the gym just feels like too much effort, everyone active has 10?
10 exercises, yeah. And what's really good is how many foundational moves you can do without any special gear. They kick off with the squat, super fundamental. And I like how they relate it to just, sitting down in a chair.
Oh, yeah.
That slight lean forward, weight back in the heels. It's a simple cue, but it really helps you feel those thighs and glutes working. It's kind of the bedrock.
Yeah, makes sense. And then the lunge. I liked your description, like you're tying a shoelace.
Yeah.
That really paints a picture, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Big step, front shin, vertical.
Back legs stretched out. Looks simple, but man, it hits your hips, hamstrings, quads, glutes, all in one go. Plus the balance challenge.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like a moving squat, almost.
Kind of, yeah. And for calves, often forgotten, right? They suggest single leg calf raises.
Okay.
Just lift one knee, rise up onto the toes of the other foot. Simple, but you'll feel it.
I bet.
Then they ramp it up with the pistol squat. That's squatting on one leg, other leg straight out. Much tougher.
Ooh, yeah, that sounds like a real glute builder.
It is. And for getting the heart rate up a bit more, squat jumps. Basically adding an explosive jump from the bottom of the squat.
Right? Gets the blood flowing. Now, this next one sounds interesting. High knee toe taps using furniture.
Huh. Yes. Using a chair, maybe a low table. You just alternate tapping your toes on it. They do warn you, though.
Be careful with the furniture.
Exactly. Choose something sturdy. But it's a smart way to get some cardio and leg work in, especially if you don't have much space.
Good tip. Then the wall sit. Classic thigh burner.
Oh, yeah. Back against the wall, slide down till your thighs are parallel to the floor. You feel that one pretty quick.
Mm-hmm. And leg raises. They mention side and inner thigh variations.
Yeah, and these are good for flexibility, too, not just strength.
Yeah.
The key is the focus. Side raise, you lift the top leg, targets the outer hip.
Back.
For the inner thigh, you cross the top leg over and lift the bottom leg. Really hits those adductors.
Gotcha. And the quad hip extension, or glute kickback.
Right. On your hands and knees, keep the spine straight and push one heel up towards the ceiling. Really focus on squeezing the glute on that side.
Okay. And finally, just walking.
Yep. So simple we forget about it. But even short walks add up. Good for health, burns calories, builds a bit of leg stamina over time. Gentle, but still effective.
Always good to remember the basics.
Absolutely. And crucially, everyone active reminds us to warm up properly before starting any of this. Getting those muscles ready is vital.
Super important. Okay, so let's shift gears a bit. Healthline offers a broader view, right? Designing the workout itself, best exercises.
Exactly. They step back and look at the why. Why strong legs matter. I mean, beyond just aesthetics, it's about everyday function. Standing, walking, stairs.
Yeah, basic movement.
Totally. And they boil effective leg workouts down to 3 core movement patterns. Squats, hip hinges, think deadlifts, and lunges. These are your big hitters for glutes, quads, hamstrings, calves.
So keep it focused on those main patterns.
Pretty much, especially for beginners or general fitness. They suggest 3 to 5 exercises per workout. Aim for 3 sets, maybe 8 to 12 reps each. And the key is working to fatigue, feeling challenged, but not necessarily going to complete failure every time. Good form is more important.
And how often should you train legs? What's their take?
Well, interestingly, they suggest the total volume of training, like how much work you do in a session, might be more critical than how many times per week you train legs.
So 1 or 2 really solid sessions might be as good as, say, 3 lighter ones.
Potentially, yeah. It challenges that old idea that you have to hit every muscle group multiple times a week. And like everyone active, they really stress the warm-up.
Right.
About 5 minutes light cardio, maybe some foam rolling if you like that. Then dynamic stretches, things that move your joints, like leg swings, hip openers, body weight squats,
Yeah.
not just holding a static stretch before you lift.
Save the static stretching for the cool down afterwards.
Exactly. A proper cool down helps too.
Okay. Now, Healthline has a longer list of exercises, right? 15 of them.
Yeah, it's pretty comprehensive, covers body weight and gym stuff. Starts with the back squat classic for hitting the whole posterior chain, glutes, hamstrings.
And the front squat.
Shifts the focus more to the quads, the front of your legs. Then you get into those hip hinges. Romanian deadlifts, good mornings.
RDLs, yeah.
Yeah.
Great for hamstrings and glutes.
Fantastic. And hip mobility, too. Mastering that hinge pattern is so important. Then variations on lunges, walking lunges, reverse lunges. Good for balance and refining technique.
I like that they included lateral lunges, too.
Yeah.
Moving side to side is something we don't always train.
So true. Great for stability. And step up simple, but brilliant for working each leg individually. Builds strength, balance, even power.
Okay. What about body weight glute stuff?
Glute bridge is a great starting point. Easy to do anywhere. Then hip thrusts, really effective for building serious glute strength and size. And goblet squats.
Where you hold the weight at your chest.
Yep. Often feels a bit easier on the lower back for some people, while still hitting quads and glutes hard.
Good option. And for the gym goers.
They cover the leg press, lets you load up the weight safely, and leg curls, specifically for isolating hamstrings and calves.
Important for balancing out strong quads, especially for runners maybe.
Definitely. We'll touch on that again. Then they finish with a couple more challenging ones. Bulgarian split squats.
Oh, those are tough. Great leg and core workout, though.
For sure. And single leg deadlifts, another one that really tests your balance while working the hamstrings.
Wow, quite a list. But the main message seems to be, focus on the basics, be consistent.
Pretty much. Simpler is often better. Master those fundamental movements, stick to your sets and reps. Okay, now human resources brings a slightly different angle what to do when you hit a wall, a plateau.
Right, because that can happen even if you're consistently active, like with running or walking. Your legs just adapt.
Exactly. They get used to the same stimulus.
Yeah.
The human resources offers strategies to kind of shake things up and keep progressing.
Like what?
First, literally change it up. Find new routes if you walk or run. Add hills that increases the intensity naturally.
Makes sense. Challenge the muscles differently.
Yep. And cross-training. This is a big one. Combine your walking or running with actual strength training sessions.
Right, like the exercises we've been talking about.
Exactly. And also other types of cardio, swimming, elliptical, cycling, even playing sports like basketball or soccer. It improves overall fitness and leg power. Plus, it helps prevent overuse injuries from just doing the same thing all the time.
So mixing different activities is key for breaking through.
It really helps build more well-rounded fitness and resilience. And of course, they also highlight resistance training weights or machines. They specifically mention squats again.
Can't escape the squat.
Haha, no, it works almost everything down there. And they repeat those key form points. Feet flat, push through heels, flat back, chest up, look straight ahead.
That focus on form keeps coming up. Seems crucial.
Absolutely. It's the difference between an effective exercise and potentially hurting yourself. They also mention lunges again, highlighting the strength and stability aspect because you're balancing. Same form cues, knee behind toes, torso upright.
Got it. And leg curls. You mentioned we'd come back to those.
Yes, Human Resources points out how important hamstring work is, especially for runners. Runners often have really strong quads, right?
Yeah, that's common.
So doing leg curls helps strengthen the hamstrings, the back of the legs, to create better balance between the front and back.
Yeah.
This can actually help prevent common running injuries. It's about muscle balance.
That's a really important point. So if we try to pull all this together,
Yeah.
what are the big overlaps?
Well, squats and lunges are definitely the stars, aren't they? They appear everywhere, home workouts, gym workouts, tips for plateaus. They're foundational.
Seems like it. And it feels like the home workouts from everyone active could be a great starting point, or, something to do on days you can't get to the gym, supplementing the heavier stuff maybe.
Totally. And the synergy between different types of training, doing cardio like running and doing strength training like squats or deadlifts, seems really important for overall leg health and performance.
And that constant reminder about proper form.
Can't stress it enough. Getting the movement right, like those squat and lunge cues from everyone active in Healthline, is non-negotiable for results and staying injury-free.
Okay, so for you listening, the key takeaways seem pretty clear. There's a whole range of leg exercises you can do, whether you're home or in a gym.
Right, and focusing on those big fundamental movements, Your
Yep.
squats, your lunges, your hip hinges like deadlifts or RDLs, that's really the core of building strength effectively.
And consistency with good form, as human resources pointed out too, is how you'll make progress and avoid getting stuck.
Exactly. It's not just knowing what to do, but doing it well, consistently.
So maybe think about how you could integrate just one or two of these ideas this week. Could you add a couple of sets of bodyweight squats during a work break?
Hmm.
Or maybe try reverse lunges next time you work out instead of standard ones?
Yeah, just a small change. What's one step you could take this week to start exploring the strength and stability that these exercises offer? It doesn't have to be a massive overhaul. Just start somewhere.